So our reading this morning told the story of Elijah going to visit a widow. And the context of this story, we're told right before what we read, is that a great famine had fallen on the land due to a drought. The rains had dried up, and so people didn't have enough food to live. And Elijah had been staying on the east side of the Jordan River by a stream there. And when that stream dried up, the Lord came to Elijah and told him to go to a place called Zarephath, where he would find a widow who would take care of him. So Elijah listened to the Lord, and he went to Zarephath, and he found that widow. And when he met her, he asked her if she would be willing to get him some water. And as she was going to get him his water, he asked her, "Would you also be able to bring me some bread for me to eat?" And she responded and said that she can't bring him bread because she doesn't have any made, and all she has is a little handful of flour and a little bit of oil left in a jug that she was going to use to make some food for her and her son. And it said that they were going to eat it and then they were going to die, meaning that this was the last of their food that they were going to have. And then Elijah assured her, and he said, "Don't be afraid. Do what you were planning on doing, but first make a small cake and bring it to me." And so she listened to him. And first she made a small cake and brought it to Elijah. And then she went and made some, and by a miracle, she had enough for her and her son. But not only did she have enough to feed them for that day, but they had enough to eat for days. That the flour and the oil didn't run out until the rain came back. Now, on the surface, this is a beautiful story about a powerful miracle of this flour and this oil not running out. But when we look to the internal meaning of this story, it speaks to a deeply human state that all of us are familiar with. The story takes place in a time of drought and famine. And in the teachings for the new church, we're told that a drought or a famine represents a time that we are lacking truths, a time that we don't have enough truth to know how we are supposed to live and what we are supposed to do. In our reading for this morning from the Arcana Celestia told us that a widow represents the longing that goodness has for truth. It's this state where we have goodness. We have a desire to do what is right, a desire to be good and do good. And we want the truth. We want to know how to do it, but we don't have that truth right now. So what does that look like in concrete terms? How does this show up in our lives? Well, one example might be a parent. We can imagine a parent looking at a newborn child and thinking, "I want to be the best parent that I can be for this child. I want to make sure that I love and care for this child in all of the ways that they need so that they can grow up to be a happy, healthy, well-adjusted human." And I'm sure every parent in this room knows that feeling of looking at our children and saying, "I want to be the best that I can be for you. I want to help you and guide you and support you in all the ways that you need." And likewise, I'm sure every parent in this room can also relate to the feeling of saying, "But I don't know how to do that. I'm doing my best and I'm trying, but I'm not an expert. I don't know everything that I need to know about this." You know, just having a desire to be a good parent doesn't immediately make us experts in it. So this is that state where the goodness is there, the love is there, the desire, the willingness. We want to do what's right, but the truth is lacking. We don't necessarily know how to do it. We don't know all the answers to every situation that we're going to run into. Another example might be a close friend or a relative or someone that we know going through a difficult time, like losing a loved one who's close to them, where we might say, I love this person and I want to care for them and I want to be there for them. But maybe we say, "But I've never lost someone that close to me, so I don't know exactly what it is that they're going through. So I want to be there for them. I want to help them. I want to support them. The love, the goodness is there." But we might say, but I don't know I don't know the best way to do it. I don't have all the answers. So this is what's represented by that state of the famine and a widow trying to survive in the midst of this famine. And in those times, we might experience times where we might have this fear, where we might think, what if my lack of knowledge actually leads me to make it worse? What if I don't know the perfect thing to say and I don't know the perfect thing to do? And so if I step in and do something, what if I say the wrong thing? And what if I actually make it worse? And that fear is what's represented by the widow saying to Elijah, I don't think I can give you any bread. I don't think that I have enough of this to be able to give to you. And Elijah's words to her are, don't be afraid. Do what you were planning on doing. But first, make a small cake and give it to me, and then you can make some for you and your son. And she listens to him, and she does it. And she makes the small cake for him. And miraculously, she has enough food for her and her son to last all the way until the rain comes again. So what do Elijah's words here mean? What does his encouragement mean that we can make a small cake and give it to him? Well, what he's saying is to combine that little bit of flour that she has with the little bit of oil that she has. And in our reading this morning, we were told that the flour that she has corresponds to truth, but it's a specific kind of truth that I want to talk about for a minute. It said that the flour corresponds to truth that is derived from good. What does that mean? Truth derived from good. Well, we can think about this as the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding that we have gained from our own life experience. That the good are the things that we've done, the experiences that we've been through, and the truth that we have gained from that. He's saying it's okay that you don't have all the answers. It's okay that you're not an expert in this right now. But take the little bit of knowledge that you have, take what you can from your own experience, and couple that together with the oil that you have, which we were told represents the good of love. This is the part of us that wants to do something good, that wants to care for this person. He's saying, take those things, put them together, and make something small and give it away. So the message here is for us to take what we know from our experience when we're in that state where we want to do something right, we want to love someone, we want to do what's good, but we just don't know how to do it. That we can lean on the experience that we have. We can take the little bit of knowledge that we have, put it together with this desire, and do something small for this person. And if we think of our example of our friend who's lost a loved one, we might be able to say, I don't know what it's like. I don't know what you're going through, so I don't know what the right thing is to say or the right way to be with you. But if we go back in our experience, we might say, but I know that in times that I've been struggling, it has been helpful when someone has come and offered to give me a hug. So I'll take that knowledge and I'll go to this person and I'll say, would you like a hug? It's something small, but there's power in that. Or maybe we say, I know that in times that I've gone through, that I've been going through difficulty, it has helped me to be able to sit down with someone and talk to them and talk about what I'm feeling and what I'm facing. So maybe I'll reach out to this friend and say, would you like me to come and sit with you? Would you like to talk with me and share with me what you're going through? And we may not end up finding the perfect words, and we may not end up providing the perfect kind of support for them. But we might be amazed that those small actions can go a long way. So the message in it is that when we feel this feeling of, I want to do something good, but I just don't know how to do it, to not let us fall into that fear of saying, well, what if I make it worse? So maybe I should just stay away and let someone who knows more than me handle it. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't say, well, I'm not going to do anything good because I'm afraid that it's not going to be good enough. But we can remember Elijah's words, that we don't have to be afraid, that we can take this knowledge that we have, pair it together with this love, do something small. And just like the flour and the oil that didn't run out until the waters came, we might be amazed at how far those simple acts of kindness and charity can go, how far those can go in making a difference in someone's life. But we might be listening and thinking, okay, but where's the Lord in all of this? Where's the Lord's divine truth in this equation? Is the message here that we don't need to go to the Lord's word, that we can just go off of our own experience and do our best and that's good enough? Well, our last reading this morning that came from the Arcana Celestia talked about people who are outside of the church. And when it says that, it's not talking about people who are a part of a different denomination than us, but it's talking about people who don't have access to the Lord's divine truths, people who don't know the things that the Lord teaches. And it says that those people, because they don't have that, they basically can only do this kind of goodness. They can only go off of their own experience and do their best. But they're good people. They're living a life of charity. They're trying to love and care for the people around them. And it says that the goodness that they have is not fully aligned because they don't have the divine truth that's guiding them. But it also says that the goodness that they have isn't closed off. But the kind of goodness that they have is the kind of goodness that can be opened up. And in fact, it says that their goodness is opened up when they get to the spiritual world, and they are instructed in these things, and they are taught about the Lord's divine truths and his teachings. Because then when they see them, they can say, these are the ideas that I was searching for my whole life. I had been feeling around in the dark, trying to do my best to love and care about other people, and now I see these teachings that show me the way to do that. And now for those people, it's talking about them experiencing this after they pass away and they transition into life in the spiritual world. But the same thing can happen to us in this world. That when we go through these experiences, when we go through these states where we say, I want to do something good here, I want to care for this person, I want to do what's right, but I just don't know how to do it. When we take our experience and we do our best and we reach out and we try to do something good for these people, what it does is it builds on our experience and it helps us gain more perspective. So that when we go to the Lord in his word, when we read his word, when we hear his teachings taught to us, when we come across them, we won't just be able to understand them intellectually, but we will see them and say, these are the teachings I've been looking for. We will say, oh, now I can see how the Lord's teachings can help me be a better husband to my wife. Oh, now I can see how the Lord's teachings can help me be a better parent to my children. Oh, now I can see how the Lord's teachings can help me be a better friend to the people that I care about when they're going through difficult times. And so this is the message in this story. That we all experience this. We all go through these states where our heart is willing. We want to do what's right. We want to do the right thing by someone else. But we just don't have the truth. We don't have the understanding. We don't know how to perfectly do it. And when we feel that way, we don't have to give in to the fear that I'm not good enough. But we can remember Elijah's words. Don't be afraid. Take what you have. Take that little bit of flour, that knowledge you have from your experience, take that little bit of oil that you have and put them together and do something small for someone else. Send that text to your friend saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Go to your daughter and ask, would you like to go get ice cream with me? And they may not be the perfect thing. It may not be exactly what they need in that moment. But just like the miracle of that flour and that oil lasting them all the way until the rains come, we might be amazed at the power of these small, simple acts of kindness and charity that can sustain us until we come across the Lord's divine truths that show us the way, and we can say, "Thank you, Lord, for showing me how to love my neighbor." Amen.